So that's your weather update for today, the 31st of March, 2017. You're welcome to the show. Still to come in this hour, the breakfast review, and then in Hard Talk, of course, we will be focusing on Parliament and the goings on there from yesterday in the evening, what the implications are. There will be a sitting today. The Speaker will actually make a ruling on the bribery allegation scandal that hit Parliament 2 months ago. The committee has done its work, it's ready, and in case you just woke up to the news, well, the Member of Parliament for Boku Central has been indicted for contempt of Parliament. He was asked to apologize. He gave a, conditional, if you say, I apologize, then I should apologize, and I apologize, which didn't go down well with the Speaker, and there was confusion in the House, lots of noise, and we'll be getting through that in a short while. Let's go for our wordplay, and then we return with GHToday on GHOne TV.
Spectacular. Beautiful in a dramatic and eye-catching way. French history was represented in a spectacular way for tourists.
So that's your word. Just go straight to it and give us as many words as you can. I'm looking through the papers. Ayoriga faces contempt. Big headline. Also, there are issues coming out of the Star Chat conversation that Bolare had with Dr. Cadman Mills, younger brother of Professor Mills. Issues still rumbling on almost 5 years after he passed away. That and many more in today's papers. So stay tuned. My co-host is looking all nice and pretty for you, and she will be on the set in a short while for us to go through the papers. Don't go anywhere. This is GHToday on GHOne TV.
Hello there, and you're most welcome to television's best experience.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back.
This is beautiful.
Even while we sleep.
I really want you to come go with me on this exciting journey.
Say how they come, that bar. When they say how they go, that bar. When they see me out of town, that bar. When they see me from my hood,
It's fun, it's insightful, it's exclusive. This is Revealed. My name is Bolare, and this is my show.
Revealed with Bolare, proudly brought to you by Bel Air Rare Luxe. Premiere Sunday 9th April at 7:30 p.m. on GHOne TV.
It's unthinkable, but I've become fond of idiots.
Idiots are nuisance and they are very annoying.
I'm still baffled about what you saw. Was he really the donkey's ghost?
Senna is your bullseye. If you want her, you have to hit it with all you have.
Why the hell would you think Donkey is dead?
I didn't know you hate him that much to wish him dead.
As I talk to you right now, I am on my knees. Please, help me learn the trade of an idiot. I can't start a new relationship now.
You can't start a new relationship because you are comfortable being humiliated and treated like a boy instead of a man.
And I conclude you need the power of Jesus to break you from that spell.
It was two beautiful ladies fighting over a donkey. I felt so proud. Besides, I am eager to take you to the psychiatric hospital should you dump me for him.
So you think there's a problem with my mind?
Ask yourself, what would you do if I go on vacation and come back with deep thoughts and affection for an idiot lady who keeps dominating my life?
The door is ajar and it's an invitation for anyone to walk in. I am the President of the Republic, duly elected and sworn in. I declare my nephew, Black Boy, the Minister of Foreign.
By popular demand, the revenge is back.
I'm sorry, Durga. I can't marry you.
Is this how you treat your daughter? If your daughter over here was in Durga's shoes, would you let this happen? Would you let this happen with Kangna?
Catch all the excitement, the drama, the thrills and the unending suspense on The Revenge as it hits your TV screens once again.
Durga Thakur, I know you are responsible for Shaurya's state.
Shaurya doesn't know what life is, what pain is.
You think that you will be able to evade what you did?
For the first time, he will feel the pain that he has kept on evading. He will suffer, Dad. And his suffering will be our strength.
No, Durga Thakur, I promise you, you will have to go through much more pain than Shaurya is going through right now.
Each weekday at 6 p.m, get enthralled with all the action and drama from Sakshi, Shaurya, Durga and the rest of the Goenka family, and catch the omnibus every Sunday at 10 a.m. only on GH1 TV.
Baby biara wo bia no ye fa no agro keteke 1500 Ghana cedis no ni achedie ni na ensembisa no so ka ho ye de bro baby biara wo bia me pa cho wo kuma se ana ebri ensawam ana se hefa kra na wo Cape Coast me pa cho agro na ene ye de ba be hihye so wo ba bia wo no me da Western Union money transfer, MTN mobile money, Beige Capital, Joy Jadibitis, me da woni na ase me pato mia me de dwumadie wo chia me no me din di baby da pa hwemanim na baby a wo bia no wo je wo di a hia me na ye ndi agro no agro. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yes.
You look tired.
Do I?
Yeah.
It's just my eyes.
Just your eyes.
Some of us have a sexy eyes.
Anyway, it's the 31st of March. If
Yes,
anybody is owing you, today is the day to collect it.
Go and just the
Is
person.
someone owing you?
And nobody's owing
Nobody.
me.
Somebody's owing me. The person knows himself or herself. You should pay me.
Today.
Today. It has to appear today because when I checked my bank account this morning, I was like, no way. It hasn't arrived.
Alert.
Yes,
okay.
alert.
Alert.
It has to appear today.
Alert for appear. Okay, 31st March. Have you been paid, or have those who owed?
Yeah, those who owe you have to pay.
Today
yes.
is last day of the first quarter.
Yes.
Telling the year.
Yes, moving so fast. If you think of it that way.
Wow.
Yes,
wow,
yes.
Wow,
and
wow.
April is only 30 days.
Yes, and tomorrow is the 1st of April.
1st of April.
April Fool.
Yeah.
Be careful.
The next week.
Let nobody mess you up.
True.
So be on alert now.
Yes, I'm on the alert, but I'm waiting for the real alert.
All right, we're going to go through the headlines right now, right here on GH1 TV. It has to be the big news that happened yesterday. So I'm looking at starfmonline.com. Bribery scandal. Ayariga indicted for contempt asked to apologize. That's the big headline there on StarFMOnline.com. And it's a story written by Mohammed Awal. The 5-member ad hoc committee tasked to probe the bribery scandal that rocked the Appointments Committee of Parliament has indicted the Member of Parliament for Boku Central, Mahama Ayariga, of contempt. Following the committee's extensive probe into his allegations that Energy Minister Boakye Ejiaku had sought to bribe the members of the Appointments Committee to lure them into approving his nomination, he was asked to render an unqualified apology, and basically that was what went down yesterday in Parliament. He was also supposed to purge himself of contempt for greatly injuring the reputation of the chairman of the committee, Joe Osei-Owusu, and Parliament. So, and I'm sure there are headlines. Some papers went to bed with that story.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And just a reminder, if you want to see the near brawl in the Parliament of Ghana, you can also go to starfmonline.com and see it there. There was, a near scuffle in Parliament.
So it was also a scuffle, but
near. Well, it was because nobody got hit.
No blows were thrown.
Yes,
it's not like the Ukrainian Parliament where they're throwing chairs and things.
Absolutely, I was going to say that. They didn't throw any of the Chinese chairs in Parliament. So, it was near scuffle.
Near scuffle. Really how's the Daily Guide? How's some of the papers reporting it?
Thankfully, the papers didn't go to bed before all of these things happened. Daily Guide leads were no bribe, Ayariga guilty of contempt, and they chose just an appropriate picture of Mahama Ayariga. And they add day of shame. Well, as a Daily Guide, we can't expect any less. There are also pictures of Dr. Boakye Ejiaku, Mohammed Muntaka, Joe Osei-Owusu, who were also a part of this very important investigation around this bribery allegation. Well, they say it's not true, so it's no longer an an investigation into a bribery allegation. They said it never happened. But still on the front page, there are also a number of stories, but I think we'll go through that as we look into the headlines of the newspapers.
Of course. I think the Daily Graphic also manages to lead with the same story.
Indeed. Brawl in Parliament. Daily Graphic does not say near brawl. It says brawl in Parliament. Ayariga faces contempt, 3 exonerated. And the story is on page 3 of Daily Graphic. Like I said, the video is on starfmonline.com. You can go and watch it right now. Just grab your device and then click on it. I don't know if I can read a bit of it. There was a near brawl between the majority and the minority members in Parliament following the release of the report of the GHOne committee investigated the bribery allegation against the chairman and some members of Some young members of Parliament from both sides moved to the center of the chamber trying to punch one another over the...
has 2 headlines from that particular interview. NDC government abandoned Nadu Mills, a thought-provoking narrative by Dr. Cadman Mills. And there's a picture there of Mrs. Ernestina Nadu Mills, wife of the former president of Ghana, Professor Mills. And still from that interview, Dufour was a competent finance minister, says Cadman Mills. Of course, Dufour referring to Dr. Kwabena Dufour, former finance minister.
and founder of the Huda Group.
Exactly so. So two headlines from that particular encounter on Star 103.5 FM. Still staying with that story, but moving to the Daily Dispatch. Cadman Mills on Star Chart opens up on cause of Mills's death, and there's that poignant picture of the former president lying in state 5 years ago almost, and a picture of his brother Cadman Mills, Dr. Mills, and Kwabena Dufour was a competent finance minister, Cadman Mills. Almost as if Dispatch and Daily Heritage were doing some collabos, because their headlines are quite similar. Ghanaian Observer, Cadman Mills exposes NDC over Prof. Mills's death, and a picture of the brothers there on the front page, and then some other headlines that we will talk about later. But for me right now, I just wanted to focus on these NDC-related stories.
Did you listen to the interview?
I followed it. I was following it on Twitter.
On Twitter.
Yeah, so it was quite emotional.
I missed it entirely.
Okay, it was quite emotional for people.
Thankfully, I can find the podcast.
Definitely so. Yeah, so he made a lot of revelations and. Yeah, so that podcast is online on StarFM.com. So those are the 3 stories, 3 headlines from 3 papers dealing with this particular interview.
But I'm also interested in what he meant by the NDC abandoned the former First Lady, Nadu Mills. I don't know. Was she ever interested in the party in the first place? I think she always, kept
always in the background.
Distance,
yes,
from the party. So it'll be difficult to establish a relationship with her.
She's quite a low-profile person.
Yes.
The only time I heard her speak publicly was on a BBC interview where one of the reporters went to her house and she was talking about, she was in her garden, I think, and chatting, and she had some pet dogs that she was talking about. Very interesting conversation. I've never heard from her again since.
Soft-spoken woman.
I trust the state is looking after her as they should look after all former first ladies. I trust.
Well, we should investigate that.
Yes,
Should we set up a committee?
We should. The CAF and Community Committee. just to find out how she's being treated.
Yes.
Right.
We could do that.
Okay.
You want me to move on?
Yes, I think one district, one factory.
Yes, it's in the news again.
3 of your papers. Yeah.
Yes. It's back in the news because government has started raising the money. UMB offers $100 million for one district, one factory policy. They called on the president yesterday, and then they made this pledge. Unbelievable, but true. It's a lot of money. For a bank that was at the center of a lot of controversy when it was being transferred from Merchant Bank to UMB.
Yes.
At the time, they said a lot of money had gone into wrong hands. The bank needed restructuring. UMB happened. I'm not so sure how far UMB's progress has gone, but it doesn't appear to me as one that can, dole out $100 million. Well, but it is doing it.
Big time.
And we are grateful. But don't come back and bite us. Yeah.
That's a good observation. There was a lot of political firestorm around the whole transfer, and those in the minority back then were not happy with what was going on. Lots of names were popping up associated with Merchant Bank. And how can a particular person owed so much, and this was happening here, and this was happening there. But hey, I guess that's on the surface of it, water under the bridge, and they want to support 1D, 1F. That's what I'm seeing called these days.
And we are happy with it. Thank you very much, UMB.
Okay.
We hope the NPP uses the money judiciously.
Yes, indeed.
The Daily Statesman also has on the front page, one district, one factory gets boost with $100 million UMB support. It also has something on Afri-Exim Bank to support industrialization agenda. It also has the when I moved from the Daily Statesman to the New Weekend Crusading Guide, there's a photo of Dr. Fori Tinkrang, who is the new SNP boss. Yeah, so basically, that's it for the two papers.
Okay. And I'm moving now to, the controversy over the statements by the new chairman of the board of Cocoa Board, saying that they will slash down, they'll slash the salaries of top executives there. And so we have BAIDOO, who is the acting CEO of Cocoa Board, saying, I will not be greedy to pocket 75,000 cedis. BAIDOO says monthly take-home pay is outrageous and frightening. Okay, so two words put there together. But in direct contrast to that is a statement from YOCAG. Now, YOCAG are the... So they are not happy with this. YOCAG is the Young Citizens for Accountable Governance. The pressure groups always spring up right after
there are
elections.
not too many of them.
This is a new one. They're almost as rampant as these vigilante forces.
Yes.
So they are saying that the CEO or the Cocoa Board chairman is immature and autocratic, and they are asking him to get to work and stop the mischief. I've also heard arguments about how, look, Cocoa Board is not, those who are earning big money are not complaining about whatever the Cocoa Board CEO is earning. After all, and if you put it into pounds or dollars, it's not too fantastic a salary. But then you've got to remember that we are not up there, we are here,
The context is important.
It's very important. We're here. We're not doing things the way the people who earn and spend pounds and dollars are doing. And in comparison to what maybe the lowest paid worker in that organization will get, or even what the farmers are getting, it looks on the surface of it quite outrageous, So there's going to be this political twist over this. It's understandable. This is Ghana, So it's definitely going to happen. So that will happen. We'll see whether it's even legal to slash salaries. Because if there are agreements, they cannot just be tossed away like that, no matter who you are. You understand what I'm saying, Kemini?
Well, but he's the board chairman. I don't know how it works, but he's the board chairman. If the board decides that this is what should be done, I'm sure they can recommend and things could happen. But let's see how it goes. Sometimes people make statements in the spur of the moment only to realize that that's all they could be, statements.
Okay.
No action.
All right.
But if you would, I want to take us back to the new weekend crusading guide. To sell or not to sell ECG, coalition raises red flag, hints at possible conflict of interest. There was some sort of a stakeholder forum yesterday over the sale of ECG, whether by concession or by they call something is it the SPF or something? Yeah. So there was a very big conversation on this. The debate was very interesting. I was listening on my way home, and the new crusading guide has culled the story from it. Do grab a copy and read. But obviously, the stakeholders, one thing was clear, that the stakeholders were unhappy about the concessionary sale of ECG. They, keeping in mind the Aquavitins experience, they'd rather we restructure things properly, or even if we have to do that, it has to be, we need to have our bargaining power should be bigger than it is now, so we don't completely lose out on whatever it is that we'll be doing with the ECG, like in the case of water company about 5 years ago.
Is the feeling that is it that so people feel that we're selling it? We are getting not too great a deal for ECG.
Yes. Many of the stakeholders thought so, that it was going to be a raw deal for us if we wanted to do something with ECG to make it better. There were other ways of doing it rather than what we have on the table at the moment, and we want government to review it.
All right. Okay, you're watching the headlines right here on GHToday, today's headlines, and the Independent leads with 2 appointments. Ofori Tinkran appointed SNIT boss, but the one that I'm sure will excite your interest this morning is one Addison, Dr. Ernest Addison, is the new Bank of Ghana governor. This is swifter than Usain Bolt. I mean,
Absolutely.
the former, now soon to be the former governor resigns. Yes, he resigned 2 days ago. Today is his last day, and the day before his last day in office, a successor has already been found. I wish the courts could move with such rapidity. I wish things could move so quickly when you have complaints with utilities. Action can be taken so swiftly. I mean, this is almost record time.
Absolutely.
So Dr. Ernest Addison is the new Bank of Ghana governor. He's an economics graduate of the University of Ghana, University of Cambridge, University of McGill in Canada. Joined the ADB in May 2011, worked there as a lead economist, was a director of research at the Bank of Ghana, also chief economist at the West African Monetary Institute from 2000 to 2003. He's not the only appointment that the Independent is talking about. There's also Ofori Tinkran, who has been appointed as the boss of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. Also a doctor, worked in various areas. AIG, he worked for AIG, PF, FP. He's replacing Ernest Thompson at SNIT. So you've got his whole profile right there. He looks quite happy. I don't think the picture was taken after he was appointed, though. But
anyway,
but
Millicent, now though, why does he get passed over all the time? You recall when Kofi Wampa was leaving, he acted as governor for a while, and then his second deputy, Dr. Isahako, was picked over him as the governor, and then the position becomes vacant again, and in less than 24 hours someone else gets picked. Someone who has worked in an entirely different department of the central bank gets
comes
picked
in,
over him.
You see the politics.
Maybe we should pray for him.
The answer is politics. I hear he's nearing retirement anyway.
Absolutely,
so he must be looking at these events.
That was his excuse when he was passed over during the Kofi Wampa exit. But I still think that something could have happened.
Something would have happened, eh?
Yeah. You need to associate right too.
For so, eh? So you tie your fortunes to a star that is rising.
He should associate right. We don't want things to pass him over any longer.
Advice from
I was monitoring radio, and I also realized that Well, I heard from an interview that Dr. Callistus Mahama, who was with the local government authority, has also been asked to go home.
Yes.
So he also, his resignation takes effect today.
Yeah.
Now that's also, I'm told, it's protected by the laws in terms of the tenure the person is supposed to be in there. But we see all of these people go home. I don't know if it should be a source of worry to us in the country, because there are critical aspects of running the country, the central bank, the blah 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 and all that. If we see them go home only because a new administration is in office, I'm not sure how palatable that is. But as swiftly as the president appointed a new governor, he will swiftly do same for local authority. He may have his reasons, but let's see people fill those positions.
Maybe we should now start having a conversation on probably having a law which says that when a new administration comes in, there should be some 3 months or some 6 months period where a transition can be made, you know, so that you don't just take off. Because some people, the moment the election result came in, started preparing their handing over notes quickly, and then before anybody could say leave, they had already gone. And I don't know, maybe we should institutionalize something where you have a set period of time for all these positions that are filled politically, that in the event of a change in administration, by law, it should be a 3-month or a 6-month waiting period.
I think the transition law, as we have it, deals with that. So 30 days before, you know, an election, but it doesn't cover SOEs. I don't think it does.
So SOEs probably need to be roped in now, and let's have a set time.
But why not separate the technocrats from the politicians, so that if this technocrat can fill the position and he's doing well, allow him finish his his time in office.
That's another argument.
I think the mistrust and suspicion and paranoia when people, a new administration is in office is too much. I think it breaks, you know, how we progress as a country on that level. Because, I mean, if somebody's been there for a while, consider the case of local government authority. What is it that Dr. Callistus has done since he was given that office? Has he been effective? Are we getting productivity from there? If yes, why not let him go on? But, you know, it won't happen because a new administration has come. Mistrust, paranoia. People think that he may be working for the NDC administration because NDC brought him in. And so he has to go.
You see, but you could also extend that argument to say somebody like Dr. Farijan, who was in the position since the 90s, went through different turnovers. He didn't leave when administrations changed. I've heard people say, "Oh, I think Mrs. Osei should leave right now because there's a new government in power."
I think it's the only office that is respected by the administrations. The various administrations, when they come in,
they don't touch those
they try not to touch those.
And
ones.
the people who are there also don't hand in their resignations and go.
Well, they are working. they are working. They have a contract. The contract has not expired, so they go on.
Okay, quick headlines, and we're going straight into the breakfast review. So, Finder, imposter, UN staff exposed. We have HFC Bank wins most successful change management award. Okay, interesting. Congratulations to you, HFC. 559 CD, 40 pesos national service allowance takes effect April 1st. I don't think it's an April Fool's joke. The Mirror, dead man gives winning lotto numbers.
Really?
Hey,
how? Winning lotto numbers.
Yes, and I'll end on a story I saw online yesterday about the Kentampo Falls. So an Islamic cleric went there, performed some prayers, and came to the conclusion that the Kentampo Waterfalls area is a international conference center for dwarfs, all the dwarfs in West Africa. And to exercise whatever spirits and things that are happening there, 11 sheep and 19 rams have to be provided and fed to a blind woman because the waterfall is female.
The blind woman will have to eat all of that. 11 sheep, 19 rams.
She's representing the waterfall, which is a female. And that area is a conference center for all the dwarfs in West Africa.
Over what period is she supposed to eat that?
I'm even thinking, so why do we even bother with domestic tourism? Tell people to go and visit Vli Falls, waterfalls, Mole, and then you tell them that the place is also a conference center for dwarfs. Who's going to go there?
Well, I know a few people who would want to meet the dwarfs.
I would love to meet the dwarf, actually. I'd love to interview a dwarf, actually. But on that dwarf
Be careful what you wish for.
I'd love to interview a dwarf. If any dwarfs are out there, submit yourselves for a one-on-one. Friday Hard Talk one-on-one with Kaf. Yeah, I'll interview you well.
I think he has no go behind him.
No, I'll just interview out of intellectual curiosity. Have a dwarf here, we'll do a one-on-one. Listen, let's go for a break. Enough of the dwarfs. This is GH1 TV with Kafu and Kamini. Is this our last K&K show?
Yeah, it's our last K&K show. You go back to KMB on Monday.
Let's go for a break. We'll come back with the preference review. Don't go anywhere.
Join our social media. Join our social media conversation at GH1 TV, Twitter and Instagram. On Facebook at GH1 and WhatsApp 0288 500 600. GH Today on GH1 TV. Let's get interactive.
A hero of change is the one who lends a helping hand.
The one who gives a second chance at life.
The one who teaches many to be independent and self-sufficient.
The one who provides a better education for the community.
And gives many hope for the future.
The one who puts a smile on many faces.
That's a hero of change.
That's a hero of change.
That's a hero of change.
Join us as we bring you stories of Ghanaians making a positive change in our society by impacting the lives of others in the MTN Heroes of Change Season 3. Sunday at 7 p.m. on GH1. MTN Heroes of Change.
It's the 2017 Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, a night that Ghana and beyond anticipates. For 18 years, the VGMA has defined excellence and elegance to a watching world.
Every year, those glittering stars come together to shine at the industry's biggest and most glamorous event.
It's a night of glitz and glam. So, on the 8th of April 2017, find your way to the conference center between 7 and 8 p.m. and be part of the red carpet live on GH1.
Yes, who wore what? How they wore it? Did they rock it or not?
Yes, indeed. Remember, it is 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. with me, Berla Mundi.
And me, Elikem Kumoji.
Be prompt and be live on GH1, the rest of Africa and the world.
Belinda's ladies met with the African fashion icon Christy Brown.
It's just how the clothes hang on her. You know what I mean? Just feeling it.
Yeah, for an e-commerce model, you're going to be wearing sample size clothing, so you can't really fill them out that much.
But, as with every competition, there were weak links. Bringing us to this very moment when Belinda and her resident judge Makeba had to decide who was going to go home. Belinda BAIDOO Model Search Africa on Sunday at 4 p.m. right here on GH1 TV.
Join our social media conversation at GH1 TV, Twitter and Instagram. on Facebook at GH_1 and WhatsApp 0288 500 600. GH Today on GH1 TV. Let's get interactive. Join our social media conversation at GH1 TV, Twitter and Instagram. On Facebook at GH_1 and WhatsApp 0288 500 600.
To a brand new day right here, 31st of March 2017. Today is the day, by the way, in Kumasi, where all the ladies gather to network, to talk, to listen, to ask questions, to build their own Star Woman power, because this is the Star Woman Project live in Osei Krom today, 6 p.m. at the Law Faculty at the Kwame Nkrumah University University of Science and Technology. So the lineup is an extraordinary one. Marilyn Owusu is the CEO of Ace Consult. Miss Nancy is the CEO of Style Coach Ghana. You've seen her tips here on this show. Nanama McBrown, well, you know her, multi-award-winning entertainer and brand influencer, and of course the face of Star Woman Project, Anita Erskine. The host of this show is the dynamic Na Claude of Ultimate 106.9 FM. It's happening today, 6 p.m. in Kumasi at the Law Faculty, KNUST. Admission is absolutely and totally, unconditionally free. So come listen, talk, ask questions, make your network stronger, and then build your Star Woman power. The Star Woman Project today, on the 31st of March, 6 p.m. Kumasi, is brought to you in association with Access W Initiative, inspiring, connecting, and empowering. The Star One Project, you want to dare to stand out. It's happening today. Well, happened yesterday, and there was a lot of interesting action inside the House of Parliament. And that will be our conversation that we'll be having for a greater part of the Breakfast Review, which begins right now. So let's take you back to Parliament yesterday, and we'll first hear from the chairman of that committee that was set up to probe bribery allegations that were leveled against the Energy Minister Boachi Ejako. So let's listen to Jogate first of all.
Your committee is of the view, unanimously, that there is no evidence of an attempt to bribe the members of the Appointments Committee by any person. Once again, your committee used the test relating to criminal trials, civil trials, as well as the test of the reasonable man, and it arrived at the same conclusion. The last term of reference for your committee was to look into a remit of complaints and assertions made by First Deputy Speaker about the matter. As a result of these observations, your committee comes to the firm conclusion that Mr. Honorable Mahama Yaga is in contempt of Parliament on the strength of Article 112 of the 1992 Constitution.
Okay, so that was the chairman of the special committee. Now let's hear from the minority leader in Parliament. Let's hear what he had to say concerning this.
Mr. Speaker, this is not a matter that should have been taken lightly, because reputations are to be protected. And indeed, let me also use this opportunity to thank the chairman and members of the investigative committee for doing a diligent, thorough work.
You're watching the Breakfast Review right here on GH1 TV. I've been joined by my guests. To my immediate right is the former Member of Parliament for the Ablekuma Central Constituency, Theophilus Tetechai. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
And on his right is the Deputy Minister Designate for the Youth and Sports Ministry, Pius Hajide. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
to see you.
Good to see you.
When are
too.
you being vetted?
We are still sorting it out. Initially, I was scheduled for May the 18th.
Okay.
But I am told that Parliament may be extended. They should have gone on recess already.
Okay.
They may be extending sitting.
Okay.
And if that happens, maybe within the week, I shall be vetted. But I've already been invited by the committee.
So you're ready. If they say today, you go.
Well, we are always ready to respond to the call.
All right, okay. So Did you watch the proceedings in Parliament yesterday, gentlemen? Just curious. I'll start with you first.
Not at all. I didn't watch.
You didn't watch. Did you listen on the radio?
Yeah.
You listened?
Yeah.
Okay, so you followed.
Yeah.
How about you? Were you in
Even
Parliament?
on social media?
No, I wasn't.
You were not in Parliament, but you were following.
I also followed on the mass media.
Okay, great. What are your impressions of what went down yesterday?
Well, initially, Kafu, let me say a very good morning to our cherished viewers, and let me also express to you my inability to fully comment on the matter. I accepted the invitation to come on the set, and the thing happened quite later into the evening. I was thinking, because this concerns the Appointments Committee of Parliament.
Indeed.
And I've been invited to attend upon the same committee. So I'm in a very difficult position.
You're proceeding with caution.
Yes.
Okay.
But my general observations are that this was very good. It was a serious matter. The allegation of the alleged bribery of members of the committee by a minister nominee, for me, was a serious matter. I mean, I think that it would have been scandalous. It would have been sacrilegious if, in fact, the committee findings were otherwise, that the minister nominee attempted to bribe members of the appointment committee. It would have been a disaster. And so, yes, I am excited that it is not what we were made to believe initially. I also am excited that Parliament took the bold step of wanting to discuss this matter dispassionately, and the committee acquitted themselves very well. One, they held public hearings. Yes, a few hearings in camera, but largely the key witnesses were the hearings of the key witnesses were held in public, on national television and all that. I thought that was also very, very good. The committee went to the extent of even reviewing CCTV footage, and they reviewed evidence using all kinds of methods. They used the criminal approach to review evidence. They used the civil approach, and they added one more they called the test of the reasonable man. And for me, the Joe Gate-led committee did a yeoman's job, and they must be commended. And the conclusions and recommendations of the committee were unanimous. I mean, there were NDC members of the committee, there were NPP members of the committee. But what it means is that even the NDC members of the committee agreed that there was no evidence, and that Honorable Mahama Yariga did not have to make the outrageous allegation of attempting to bribe members of parliament on Honorable Ejaku and the first deputy speaker, who happens to be the chairman of the committee. I am convinced that the story that was pushed initially, that they said this to spread corruption around and equalize, I am convinced that that was the motivation. I mean, if you listened to the report of the committee carefully, like I did yesterday, nothing has been left untouched. All areas were covered. CCTV footages were, you said there were envelopes that you had returned, and luckily there were CCTV cameras both on the way to the chief whip's office and coming out and all that. I mean, all of these things could have been noticed, even on camera. Again, even the gentleman himself who made the allegation, Honorable Mahama Yariga, before the public hearing of the committee, admitted that he didn't see, he's not aware of either Mr. Boachi Ejaku giving money to the chairman of the committee. He's not aware of the committee chairman giving money to Honorable Mahama Yariga. He's not even aware that Mahama the whip, Muntaka, Honorable Muntaka, gave him bribe money. He's not even aware of that. And so it was a matter for me that to a reasonable extent shouldn't have been pursued, but it was out there in the public. Okay. And the parliament took a bold decision to confront this matter, and in order to redeem its own integrity and to repair any damages, if any, was caused. But yesterday for me was a good day for the Parliament of Ghana. Their honor has been won back. Their reputation that was almost being destroyed was salvaged yesterday, and I am happy not only for the 3 honorable members who were supposed to have been in the center of the thing, i.e. Honorable Boache Jakun, the chairman of the committee, and the minority chief whip, Honorable Muntaka, not only for them, but the whole house and the whole country. The perception that people would have had of our institutions and of our country around the world, had this been true, would not have been good for us as a country. My only regret was that Honorable Mahama Ayariga failed to take advantage of the sitting yesterday to, in my view, show the remorse that I expected. But the Speaker says that today he will give his own ruling. My prayer would be that in the heat of the moment yesterday, but after some hours, I think that the Speaker should maybe give Honorable Mahama Ayariga another chance. By this time, I'm sure he would have cooled down, he would have realized the full implications of what has happened. Okay. And even before the Speaker gives a ruling, my prayer would be that the Speaker should maybe give Honorable Mahama Ayariga another opportunity. All right. And I believe that if that happens, he'll grab it. He would grab it, take advantage of it, and do what is honorable and what is right. Okay. Apologize, be solemn about it, show remorse, and then let's move on.
All right, Pius, thanks a lot. Theophilus, what are your thoughts? You've been having this interesting smile on your face.
Good morning to your cherished viewers. For me, to be honest, I'm not surprised with the outcome of the investigation. In the sense that if you look at the terms of reference, I believe that the conclusions reached were something that was expected. Because if you look at the terms of reference, it's one, to verify whether GHOne gave bribe. Two, whether committee members or the chairman of the committee gave resources to members, gave out the bribe, and the issue of Mutaka, all this coming together. And for me, it is something that will be very difficult for one to be able to prove his or her allegation. Definitely. So me, from the onset, I knew the conclusions would be the way that we've all witnessed. But you see, for me, as a citizen of this country, we all want to ensure that the right things are done. I've been a member of parliament. I'm now a former member. I've been there. And I believe that the ruling that was given yesterday shouldn't be the end. It is very fortunate that the Right Honourable Speaker will give further directives to the ruling that was given yesterday. But for me, as a citizen and a former member of parliament, I would suggest to the leadership of parliament that in order for us to protect the image of parliament, for that matter, the decisions reached should not be what the verdict that has been given, but parliament should go further and put in regulations that will ensure that the perception of the public about members of parliament is eroded. You know, when the issue of the judiciary came up, the Chief Justice, despite the shame that that particular story brought on the judiciary, she took a step further to ensure that sanity was brought into the institution. And so therefore, today you realize that they've changed most of the ways they do things within the judiciary service. And my appeal to the leadership of Parliament is to ensure that we put in place regulations that will direct members of Parliament, especially committees, on how they perform their duty. If we fail to do that, then for me, as a former member of Parliament, we have failed the nation. That is my comment. But for me, I expected the verdict that was given yesterday.
Why did you expect the verdict?
I told you from the beginning, based on the terms of reference. So, and you see, for me, if people are not satisfied, the laws of this country give them room for redress. Yesterday, if you listen to Mahama Ayariga, before he apologized, he raised certain key issues. That's one, he was not given the opportunity to cross-examine those who also raised issues against him. And the natural law of justice gives all citizens the opportunity, especially when you are before an adjudicating committee. But these are matters that I believe that Honorable Ayariga can take up to maybe a higher court if he really wants to pursue that agenda. If he feels that Parliament has not dealt with him fairly. It is his own prerogative. And for me, if he is to do that, he has that right. But as I rightly told you, I expected this verdict. And for me, I'm never surprised.
Pius, do you have any comments you want to make?
You know why Honorable Tetechai anticipated the verdict? Mm-hmm. I am tempted to believe that, like the chairman of the committee indicated yesterday, the test of the reasonable man traveling between Accra and Medina. Mm-hmm. Any fair-minded person, having listened to the narratives, was going to take a decision. Being a lawyer or not, being a member of parliament or not, any average Ghanaian, fair-minded, who wants to be honest, after hearing the narrative, was going to come to one conclusion. And that was the third approach that they adopted, in addition to the criminal and civil. That's the test of the reasonable man. And it is the test of the reasonable man that my brother conducted and came to the conclusion that the matter didn't have any merit. That is why he already anticipated the outcome of the committee's report. You see, because the narrative was problematic, and you ask yourself, at the level of a lawyer, a good lawyer like Honorable Mahama Ayariga, former Minister of State, Member of Parliament for more than one term, I mean, should you not have done some introspection, ask yourself a few questions? One was, where was the motivation to want to bribe? Absolute majority in Parliament. And what were the issues? They were not constitutional, they were not moral. These were matters of opinion on which we can differ, opinions and like noses, everybody has one. Honorable Ejaku could have one. On the matter of fact, there was always the remedy to ask him to come back, and they did that. And so, to all fair-minded people, there was no motivation on the part of Honorable Ejaku to attempt to bribe any member of the committee. And so I think that it was that which led to the honorable member already anticipating how the committee was going to be ruled. Otherwise, watching the committee, you will notice that there were very serious NDC members of the committee, and one could not have argued that, okay, this was real ruled. Because, you see, and the decision was unanimous. All five of them agreed. It's not like the NDC members disagreed and the NPP majority, 3 against 2, had their way. It was a unanimous decision. So I think that lessons have been learned. The minority leader, his speech in Parliament yesterday, for me, was very much on point. The majority leader, of course, but I'm singling out the minority leader because Honorable Mahama Ayariga is on his side of the bench. He was honest and fair and on point. And I would want to encourage that members of parliament, especially on the minority, should approach this matter in a nationalistic manner. This is not time to do NPP, NDC politics. The fisticuffs and the exchanges in parliament yesterday, for me, were undesired. And that we all at this point need to be sober, soak in the news and move forward. Let the people who have to say sorry, say sorry. The people of Ghana will understand that, well, you just lost an election and a few things were said about you when you were in government. Now you are in opposition. You want to grab every opportunity to smear mud. It might have been a joke gone bad. You didn't anticipate it to go this far. It has come this far. But we are an understanding people. We are sorry, you say it. Ghanaians know that you are genuinely sorry.
Okay.
They can forgive you and we can move on.
Let me read some text messages on this particular issue. It's something that people have been talking about since last night. Good morning, and this is from Abdul Razak General in Tamale. Indeed, an apology from Honorable Ayariga is not enough. He should be punished to serve as a deterrent to others who want to tarnish the image of Parliament. Now, K. Kusi in Ejisu Besiasi says, Ms. Ayariga has demeaned, debased, and denigrated the title honorable according to our legislators. His disgruntled posture poses a threat to the sanctity of the legislature. It's about time the August House stripped him of the title honorable. So you are taking it to a different level completely. Now, Salifu Alukuba in Bolga says, the people of Boko Central and NDC at large are proud of Honorable Ayariga. He's a hero. Parliament is only protecting its image, and God has seen them. Okay, now Adam says, although Ayariga did not win this time, the probe has put Parliament on its toes to fight corruption far better than it has been doing. I think it is Parliament that has won. Okay, so that is you striking a kind of a tone there. People like Honorable Bagbin, PCRP Afuri, and Matnamidu once accused Parliament of bribery and corruption. Are we going to see a full-scale probe into those allegations? That's Adams asking that question. Now, John is asking a question that a lot of people have asked. John from Cantonment says, how can an institution be allowed to investigate itself of a crime? It is obvious that the report will be skewed to put it in a positive light. And Sefiamo says, I said it here yesterday that the issues the ad hoc committee were to investigate wouldn't bring the saga to a conclusion. As to whether money exchanged hands or not must have been added to their work. In any case, aren't reports presented to Parliament subject to debate on the floor? If yes, is it the case that comments made by the minority and majority leaders are debated? The threat to get him out of Parliament as majority leader is currently alluding to on air is neither here nor there. The right things must be done. Well, the public court of opinion will make its own conclusions on the matter. Don Leo from Abeka says, I'm not surprised at the outcome of this committee's report. Mahama Ayariga, I'm proud of you. I encourage you to take it to the next level. I wonder what that next level will be. But let's just quickly I just want you to respond to any of the comments. Parliament investigating itself.
For me, the general public should not attempt crucifying Ayariga. You see, in my discussion, I did make a point that I'm not surprised with the decision because of the terms of reference. Okay? My colleague was trying to put words into my mouth, but I was just quiet listening to him. This is not a political issue. This is an issue that borders on the integrity of one of the highest institutions of this country. It is made up of members of all the political parties that have representation in Parliament. Okay? So for me, this is not the time for us to crucify Ayariga. Because I have said that the only way with this verdict, the only way that we can maintain the integrity of Parliament is for us as a people or as leaders within Parliament now put in regulations, structures that will ensure that committees will perform their work in such a way that some of these allegations that were leveled will never be leveled again. And I mean it. So
but can
I'm
a regulation
saying that
prevent somebody from leveling an allegation?
Can what?
Can a regulation prevent one from leveling allegations?
You see, within the institution, there are conventions. Okay? Now, if you have a committee, if you have committees in parliament, and those committees are not well resourced to carry out their functions, that's oversight functions, okay? If you don't take care, institutions that have issues to do with the committees will try and help those committees to enable them do the things they want them to do.
They will resource them, give them money to do the work.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Do you get it? And when there is room for such a thing to take place, some people can take advantage of the situation.
Is that what is happening? Or is that what happened in your time?
No, look, I'm just, you see, we are trying to solve a problem, okay? We don't want this issue that came up to raise its head again, okay? So what we need to do is to plug out the channels that can encourage such practice. Because if an institution, okay, wants a committee to perform a duty, and let's say the committee is challenged, thank God today we have our offices where we can carry out business, okay? But gone were those days when members of parliament had no offices. Even committee meetings became something very difficult. Institutions will facilitate even the meetings of committees.
So what, they will invite you to their place to meet? Or what, they'll give you money to go and meet somewhere?
Yes, exactly. And some of these things can rear its head. So what I'm saying is that once this issue has come up, and today, Parliament, per the report, is condemning Ayeriga for the statements that he's made. Parliament should go further and ensure that an enabling environment will be created for the House, especially the committees.
What does that mean? More budget? Should they give them more money to run their business?
You see, one, committees are given allowances to do their work. Okay? They are given budgets to do their work. What I want Honorable Rights Speaker of Parliament to do is to ensure that resources allocated to committees are released to committees to carry out their functions.
Okay.
Because I've been a chairman for a committee for some time. And I can tell you that as a chairman for the then Road and Transport Committee of Parliament, the budget that was allocated to my committee, we fought for us to just to do our oversight work. Because if you look at the roads and transport sector, it's a very huge sector. And as a committee, we needed to visit sites, see what our resources that we have approved as Parliament were being used for.
So were you visiting the sites?
How can you visit if your resources are not being released for you to go out? Let me give you an example. If a committee wants to, let's say, visit the Western region and look at all road projects that government is embarking upon, okay, the committee applies to, through the leadership to the Speaker, that this is what we intend doing.
We need this money.
We want our resources to be released.
Okay.
Because if you are, let's say, the outreach is about, let's say, a week, you need to sleep in hotels.
Move around.
Your food, all these things needs to be catered for.
What has all of this got to do with bribery allegations?
Let me tell you, you listen to me. Now, if you are to embark on these things and you are not being given resources, okay, if you don't take care, the committee will resource to the agency. The agency that you want to have oversight over them.
We'll start paying for.
You will see that now the agency is the one taking care of the committee.
Yes, but
so it compromises.
Yes, but it brings me back to a gentleman who sat before the committee and was being vetted for the position of energy minister. How does all that you say right now relate to the allegations that he bribed the members of the committee with 3,000 cedis each, for which reason this committee was set up and investigated? What is the link?
For me, I will continue to say that it is not about the verdict that has been given.
It's about allegations.
Yes, yes, and that is why the verdict has been given. And I'm saying Parliament should not just rest with the verdict that has been given.
Okay.
But Parliament should go further and set up guidelines that will guide members of Parliament so that what has occurred will never occur in the future, where members will have the guts to raise allegations. I hope I'm clear.
I'm trying to find the link.
You don't worry.
I get you. Because Mr. GHOne is not an institution that requires something from Parliament. He needs a law to be passed. An allegation was basically made against him. He took offense. A committee was set up. Now the committee has come up with its findings. It says that this man was in contempt of Parliament.